Okay, so very good morning to all. And so in last lecture, we had seen a structure of our syllabus, and also we had seen the few top points like what is involvement in every unit. And okay, so now today we are moving towards the our next topic, and that is about the uh, gas vacuum as a insulator. So means what? Means whatever the medium are used in an insulator. So we will just learn about the why these gases are chosen, why this vacuum is used in a as a insulators. Okay, then after we will go for the liquid breakdown and what is meant by the solid breakdown. Okay, so now first of all we will move towards the gas as well as vacuum as a insulators. Okay, so first of all, as we know all, as we all know that air at a atmospheric pressure is a most common gaseous insulation. So you will be worried about this concept. So if suppose there is a one conductor and another conductor is at that place. So in between these two conductors there is a no medium, but if there is a no medium, that means there is a air medium. Okay, so air is a used here in this case, that air will become as a gaseous insulation. Okay, so means what? Means whenever any conductor, this conductor is carrying a current, this conductor is a carrying current, but in these two conductors there is an insulation which having a medium of a air. Okay, so once this breakdown of this, so when this current from this A will be flow to this B, the current from A to the B, that will be only flow when this breakdown of air is a possible. So whenever there is a transmission line, there is a equipments in a power system labs. Okay, so whenever the engineers will design such kind of systems, that is a transmission line, that is a power apparatus for the laboratories, at that time they should consider the breakdown of air. Okay, because that have a that much practical importance. So what is mean by breakdown? So already I told you breakdown means what? If suppose there is a one rod, I will say there is a one rod. Okay, so what you are doing, you are taking one hammer. Okay, one hammer you are taking and you are just hitting that hammer onto this side of this rod. Okay, so somewhere this rod having a weaknesses, suppose I will consider at that moment this rod has a little bit crack, and once you start to hammering frequently that hammer on this rod, at that time what will happen, that rod will become a weaken, and after some times, after some hammerings, that rod will become break. So the moment at which it is getting breaking, that is known as a breakdown. Okay, so now first of all, when this breakdown will happen, when there is a collision of ionization. What is meant by breakdown? Breakdown means the process of collisional ionization. So collisional means we can say collapse. Okay, so there is an important concept, that is the ionization, and once there is a collision of ionization, so at that time we can say there is a breakdown, right? So first of all, you should understand what is the ionization, right? So suppose there is a two particularly two materials are there, and I suppose there is a excessive positive ions here, a negative ions. So what will happen, that ionization means that positive and negative, both will negative positive will attract to each other, and they will make a one charge. So that whatever charge is there, or we can say the charged atom, that is known as an ion, and multiple ion comes to the picture, that means ionization. So as I told you that multiple electrons will get multiplied in exponential manner, means like that way. Okay, so this is called as a ionization process. So suppose if we apply the sufficient voltage to break that ionization, that means that ionization will collapse, that will break down, right? So that breakdown is very important. So in suppose in many gases there is a free electrons which can be removed by the neutral gas molecules. Okay, that like in some few gases like SF6 gas, that sulfur hexafluoride. So in such kind of gases, that free electrons, whatever the free electrons flowing through the valence band, covalence band, that electrons can be removed by the attaching neutral gases. Okay, so in such cases, in such gases, we can say whatever the breakdown strength is there, that is substantially large. Okay, so for example, we can say the larger dielectric strength is about the sulfur hexafluoride. So mostly in a insulator, the medium which is used for the gaseous, that is about the sulfur hexafluoride. Okay, so the important thing, another one that you should know, that breakdown strength. Okay, so let me clear you what is meant by the, again, the simple concept. Okay, so who will tell me now what is meant by the breakdown? What is meant by breakdown?
Process of collision of ionization.
Very nice. Process of the collision of ionization, right? So this breakdown strength, now what is meant by the strength? What is the breakdown strength? Means what? The minimum voltage required to break down, to occur, means whatever the voltage is required to break it down, that is the breakdown strength. So how this is increasing? So breakdown strength of gases can be increased steadily with the gap distance between the electrodes. Means what? Suppose there is a one electrode, another one is here, the next one is here, and another one is here. So suppose in this case, breakdown can be easily happen because there is less distance, but in this case there is a increase in strength. So due to that, there is a requirement of the voltage to break it down, that may be a gradually increased. Okay, so the breakdown voltage, that means whatever the small distances here there, that is required around here. You can see for the small distances, it is about the about 0.6 megavolt per meter, and for the largest distance, that is required about 1.3 sorry 3 mega volt per meter. Okay, so this is the simple background strength fundamentals you should understand. Then next, that is the somewhere some gases, you can say, where the for medium as well as high voltage insulation, you can see the high pressure gases is provided because of their flexibility. So that gases can be used in case of in case at the high pressures. So at that time, the
Sir, your voice is not clear.
magnitude, or we can say that is into the direction. Okay, whether screen is visible,
Yes, sir.
Shraddha?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
actually, sorry for the interruption. Actually, my internet is little bit not stable. Okay, fine. So now we'll come to the point. I was explaining the concept about the gradient, field gradient. So field gradient means what? Suppose we will consider there is a one point and there is another point. So what usually we say that that whenever a field it having some magnitude and it having a direction. So if suppose there is a field from this one A point to the B point, so that is meaning existence of a magnetic field is nothing but a gradient. What I said? I said the gradient means what? Existence of the field, that is nothing but field gradient. Okay. So that in case of the high pressurized gas, the nitrogen is the gas which is first used for the high pressure because of its stability, chemical stability, as well as we can say the um, dielectric strength of the nitrogen that has been used for the high pressure gas as a first time. So another practical insulating gas are like CO2, then carbon dichloro fluoromethane, that is CClF2. Actually, it is known as a freon gas. Okay, then SF6 gas. So mostly in our electrical, if suppose you see the circuit breakers and all that thing, there you can see there is a SF6 circuit breakers. So that SF6 has been used as a medium, insulation medium, that is why it is known as. So many investigations are still continuing, depends on the whatever the complex as well as heavy calculations are there. So many researchers are working on the same to reduce such a complexity. So this is all about the gas, vacuum, and vacuum as an insulator. So here again we can see the SF6 gas, which I had already told you is at very importance in the case of the insulation superiority. So it is about the insulation superiority. It is about 2.5 times to the nitrogen. Okay, and CO2 also. So that means, as I told you, that nitrogen is used for the high pressurized places. So here SF6 is around 2.5 times better than the nitrogen as well as carbon dioxide at considering the atmospheric pressure. So whether that pressure is going to increase, that time the ratio is going to decrease also. Okay, so that SF6 gas was also observed to have a superior arc quenching property. So now, as I told you, that SF6 gas is used in a circuit breaker. So what is the function of that? So this is used for the arc quenching medium. So what is meant by arc? Arc means, suppose there is a one uh, terminal of conductor, another one is here. So suppose if you come to this closer, at them there is a sparks. That spark is nothing but what? That is arc. So arc quenching means what? The quenching means you have to just what we can say. Let me find a word for that. We can say we can extinguish, arc extinguish. Okay, quenching means what? Arc extinguish. So as you say, there is a extinguisher. So what where they are used? They are used to reduce the fire. They are used to extinguish the fire. So like that way, the SF6 is considered a better. Then a breakdown voltage at a high pressure in gases shows the increasing dependence of the nature and the smoothness of electrode conducting materials. So like as I told you, breakdown voltage means what? The voltage at which breakdown occurs. Okay, so at that time you can say up to today's day that SF6 has probably most attractive oral dielectric as well as arc quenching properties. Also, for the gas insulated high voltage system, we can prefer the SF6 gas as an insulator. So another one insulator that can we say there is a vacuum. So vacuum means what? There is a we can say like a air cavity. Okay, that we can say the vacuum means what? What is the concept of vacuum? Vacuum means that can be a air cavity. Okay, air cavity means in Marathi we say this is a हवेची पोकळी म्हटलं जातं त्याला. Okay, so that vacuum is also the best insulator for the field strength up to 10 to 7 volt per centimeter, and also that can be decreased less than the 10 raised to 5 volt per centimeter for gaps of particular centimeters. Okay, so if suppose there is a high vacuum condition at that time, whatever the pressure is, there is below the 10 raised to minus 4 ter. Ter means what? Ter means 1 millimeter of Hg. Hg means that is the when material that is Hg. Okay, what we can say material is para. Okay, so that 1 millimeter of Hg is nothing but 1 ter. So that is below 10 raised to
Sir,
minus 4 ter. So that is the unit. Okay.
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Hello, am I audible? Okay, screen is not visible. Okay, let me check. Okay, whether it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, yeah. So, we were about to understand the idea about the vacuum also. So, that vacuum can be used as a best insulator for the strength, whatever it may be, at 10 raised to 7 volt per centimeter. Also, under the high vacuum condition, I told that that is around 10 raised to minus 4 torque. So that breakdown cannot occur due to the collisional process like a gases. So in case of the vacuum, the breakdown strength is quite high. So there may be a very tough position situation for the collision of the ionization process. So in case of the accelerator, X-ray machineries, field emission tubes, electron microscopes, capacitors, circuit breakers, you can say there may be there may be a use of uh, vacuum. Okay, so this is about the gas and vacuum used as a insulators, right? Then the next part, that is about the liquid breakdown. So as we know that liquid is also used as a insulator. So you can see in a transformers there is a oil. So this oil means nothing but what, that is a liquid. Okay, so as we know that the transformer is a high voltage equipment, and that is used for the so whatever the liquid is used. So can you tell me why the oil is used in a transformer? Who will tell me why oil is used in a transformer?
For cooling.
First thing, for the cooling purpose, and second thing, there is a windings, na, right? Am I right or wrong? There is a winding in a
Yes, sir.
transformer, so that winding does not has to short to each other. So to provide the safe insulation between these two, that is why also we can use the oil, right? So means suppose any type of, we can say in transformer case that whenever there is a high voltage, some oils get heated. That time the winding get heated, and due to that some of oil will goes to the conservator, and after that it will comes down and it will cool the transformer. So means that liquid will play the major role for the purpose of insulation, and another, that is the heat conduction. Okay, so uh, when we say about the highly purified liquids, means the liquids which does not having any impurities, that have a dielectric strength as high as 1 megavolt cent per centimeter. So in such conditions the breakdown strength can be reduced considerably when there is a we can say there is a impurities. Okay, so if there is a impurities, if there is a humidity in a liquid, then there is a less breakdown strength. But if the liquid is a pure, then the dielectric strength is a high. Okay, so the mechanism, whatever the breakdown mechanism in case of the pure liquid, that is also same as of a gases breakdown. Okay, so like in suppose we'll consider a commercial liquids, and in that kind of liquids, so breakdown mechanism will simulate that present of solid impurities and dissolved gases. So as we know that the petroleum oils that are used as a common insulating liquids, so fluorocarbons, silicons, inorganic esters, that are used for the somewhere or significant quantities, we can say. So when the selecting a dielectric liquid, at that time some electrical properties we should understand, and that properties are nothing but what, the dielectric strength, the conductivity, flash point, gas content, viscosity, dielectric constants, then dissipation factor, stability. So all these electrical properties we have to understand before the going for or consider the any liquid for the as a dielectric liquid. So if suppose there is a low dissipation factor and all other are excellent, then we can say there is a polybutane which can be used in electrical industry, right? So We can say the ascaryls and the silicons that can be used in a transformer and capacitors, because the temperature is around 200 degrees Celsius and higher in the case of the transformers and capacitors. And castor oil can be a good dielectric material for the energy storage capacitor because of its high corona resistance as well as high dielectric constant as well as non-toxicity. Okay, then few of the things in a practical applications like we can say electrical equipments or the laboratory equipments. Okay, so or we can say the applications like bushings. Okay, have you understand the word bushing? How many of you see the bushings? Can you just raise your hands? Bushings, how many of you understand? How many of you know about the bushing? Okay, very good. I also raise the hand because I also know about the bushing, right? So I will also raise the hand. So only me and Pooja Dharme, only two people are know about the bushings. All what about others? Just keep your hand as raised, so I'll understand how many of you know the bushings. Where these bushings are placed? Can you tell me, Shivani? Where is these bushings? Deepak, Kumbe, can you tell me what is the exact place of these bushings? Where this is placed in a transformer? How many of you seen really? Saurabh Mule, have you seen? Okay, let me tell you. The bushings, suppose there is a transformer, we can say this is a transformer and then this, there is a bushings. Okay, at the top of transformer, we can say there is a bushings, right? So that bushings which having a, that has filled with the liquid and with the solid dielectric also, so they can be used up to the stresses at around high as 100 to 200 kilovolt per centimeter. So that is about the liquid breakdown. So liquid breakdowns means what? Means suppose at a particular conditions our oil whatever inserted into the transformer, that oil get a breakdown. So it is around used for the 200 degrees Celsius and Celsius. So above that, if suppose the voltage is getting applied and that time that can be breakdown. Similarly, as a liquid breakdown, there is a voltage solid breakdown also. So solid breakdown means what? The insulating material which is a solid, that is known as a solid insulating material, and in the breakdown of this material, that is known as a solid breakdown. So suppose it is around 10 megavolt per centimeter and that breakdown stress is very high, that is very high. Okay, so like this way, we can say this is the intrinsic breakdown strength, and that can be obtained only in a laboratory conditions. So whatever be the, however in a practice the breakdown fields can be obtained are very much lower than this value. So as we know that in every mechanism there is a breakdown which is occurs, and in general the breakdown occurs over the surface than in the solid itself. Means you know that whatever the breakdown is occurring, it is occurring over the surface. Okay, when suppose there is a cable I will consider, so this breakdown may happen at the surface only. Okay, not inside. Okay, that may be a, that is occurring at a surface. So overall intention is to understand where it is occurring, right? Then the whenever there is a failure, mechanical failure, and then this, due to this mechanical failure, we can say the mechanical stresses which will produce, that will be the reason where we can say that breakdown may takes place. Okay, uh, so till here, is there any doubt for anyone? If not, then we will continue again. Okay, so Yeah. So in case of the in case of the Yeah. So, if suppose due to the mechanical failure, if suppose we say there is a breakdown in insulation, so that we can say that is caused due to the mechanical stresses which can be produced by the electric field. Okay. So this is called as a electromechanical breakdown. This is called as a electromechanical breakdown, right? Then also another thing we should understand that breakdown can be occur due to the chemical degradation that chemical degradation how it takes place. So the chemical that it will presence of air moisture that may break down. So there is a simple flash or forming of a conduction path over the surface. So when the conducting path is formed over this surface, that means that is nothing but tracking. And if that is a tracking, that means there is a degradation of the material. Okay, so that is all around about the breakdown strength. And surface flashover means whatever the after the breakdown of an insulator that is forming a conducting path, that is known as a tracking. Okay, so normally when solid insulator is immersed in a liquid dielectric, that time we can say there is a surface flashover also. So the most frequent cause of trouble in a practices. So that happens in case of substations, in case of the generating stations. There we can say the solid breakdown. So mostly you have seen the solid insulators like porcelain insulators. Okay, in a long distance transmission lines, you can see there is insulators that are used in a transmission lines, and that has designed for the longest path over the surface. So whatever the contamination is there, that is due to the electrical installations, whatever we exist in the at some degree amount is there. So if suppose we will consider the porcelain which having a high voltage insulators, for that is nothing but what a suspension type. So whatever the length of path over the surface, that is around 20 to 30 times greater than the solid. So at that place, that surface breakdown, that will be form a failure. Okay, so there is nothing but why, because the path length of the path is above the surface by the 20 to 30 times. So that is why the surface breakdown may not take place. So that may failure of the solid insulation by discharging, which may occur the internal voids and the cavities of the dielectric. So as I told, the cavity means vacuum. So that is known as a partial discharge. So if suppose I know that there is a pipe of water, and suppose the small hole is there and that is just leaking water by one drop. So but after 2 3 days, if you will see, there will be the small continuous flow of water. After 8 10 days, if you have not done anything there, then you can see major flow of water will be there. So like that way, there may be a partial discharge of the electricity from this insulator, and after that you can see very long hazards, we can say. So as an insulation engineer, that all should attempt the rise of the discharge inception levels, and everyone should carefully choose the electrical distribution. So whatever be the applications we can consider, that time we have to understand that how this partial discharge can be minimized by using the other impregnation methods of the insulation. So if suppose there is a high voltage application, so cast epoxy resin, that is, so see, there is a cable, and inside this cable last material which is having the resin, you can see. So that resin is used to solve the many of problems, like whatever the casting we can say, that for that purpose that resin can be used for the high voltage applications. So in a switchgear, in a bushing, in a cables also. So there should be a small partial discharge is there, and that should be eliminated with the help of this cast epoxy resin, right? So this is all about the today's lecture. So today we had understood the liquid as well as solid breakdown as well as gas vacuum as insulator. So for the next lecture we will see the control. Okay, so in that control we will see the we will see the another point, that is about the what how the control on the stresses, that we will see in a next lecture. Okay, so all are requested to just mark your attendance in the chat box. Okay, just roll number you should put into the chat box immediately. You can put your roll number into chat box and leave the class. No need to write your name. Okay. Okay, those who have given attendance, they can leave the class. I hope everyone has given the attendance, so I am just closing the meeting.